Welcome to Books That Built Me, the podcast where mindset meets style, and every page leads to transformation. I am your host, Antasia Armour, mindset and style coach, guiding you through the books that shape my confidence, refine my image, and rebuild how I show up in the world. In each episode, we uncover the wisdom between the lines and how it lives in our closets, in our thoughts, and our decisions. This is coaching talk, not just book talk, for women becoming more of who they were always meant to be. Let's get into it. Alrighty, y'all, what's up? So we're getting into episode 3. This was going to be around mindset, and the book that we're going to get into is going to be The Watchmaker's Daughter. So the title of it is going to be The Details Make You Priceless. So we're going to discuss feminine precision as well as passivity. Okay, so how The Watchmaker's Daughter really helped me figure out how to conduct myself in certain manners. It really helped me kind of sort of redefine my approach to just living a life. I mean, at first I wasn't even going to read this book. I was like, it's just way too modern. It's just giving off energy that I'm just kind of sort of unaccustomed to. I really wanted to read some things about being in a actually, I'm not going to say the name yet because I haven't even finished the book, so I'm not even sure really what that is about. But it was really resonating with a certain spirit that I was kind of sort of trying to figure out. And when I really wanted to do those type of ideas, you'll see that these are differences in these books for one. And so when we think about how we really are kind of sort of like, okay, well, I can learn about having time, which I want to say honorology is the study of time. And I am going to actually, um, honorology, figure out what that means. Okay. Okay, so it's the study of time. So the study of time is called horo. Uh, Horology. The study of time can be approached from various angles, including the measurement of time, which is HOROLOGY, and chronometry, the perception of time, which is dealing with your psychology and the physiological implications of time, philosophy of time. Horology specifically focuses on the science and art of measuring time and creating timekeeping devices. And so this book was really different in that sense. And I actually did follow the lady on Instagram. And what I learned that what this book awakened in me was how interesting that I actually found that particular phrase. That was something that I never really assumed because time is always something that we get from being back in Africa and how people kept stealing that was a way to do things. And sometimes I'm really like, well, why does that really have to be a thing? Why can't it just be a thing that we're kind of sort of like going to share our riches with other folks around the globe and have less bloodshed? That was really ultimately something that was of benefit. So when I originally read this book, I did have some misgivings about it. I did unarchive it. I did archive it back and enjoyed it. I thoroughly did. There's a long series in this particular Glass and Steel series. It's probably like maybe 4 or 5 books in total. And so when we go back to this horology, the definition is the study of time and the art of measuring it, including the design, construction, and maintenance of clocks, watches, and other timekeeping devices. Focus is on the mechanical timekeeping devices. And examples is clocks, watches, sundials, and even atomic clocks are all subjects of horological study. And that is what you'll see within this particular book. You'll see that the author is really prone to allowing the young lady Steele, Miss Steele, to really use timepieces in a way that she can use them as self-defense. So it's a rather magical book. It can really give you that dimension of being in another world that has to do totally nothing with what you have going on. And that's really what the goal is. That's really a benefit. And you really get into it. Miss Steele picked up a clock when they were in a gambling house, and she threw it, but she had a weaker arm, so it fell. But the magic that was within caused the clock to bounce up from its downward spot where she threw and then actually attack her assailant. So that was interesting as well. And then Glass has a moment where his main character is only allowed to live because of a particular watch. And this particular watch was really so inclined to hold magic that every time something was necessarily going on with this watch, it was always as though they had to find the person who made it, because the person who made this particular watch was the only one who was able to keep Glass alive. So Glass had to hire Steele to help because she was so in tune with the watchmakers and people of that time who were known to actually practice this particular career field, because of, they say, birds of a feather flock together. And it made it easier to pinpoint him as long as he was within that particular guild and or circle of friends. And so it's strange because now I'm thinking it's not necessarily the watch, but the magic that's inside of the watch that's really making him kind of sort of feel like he's in a rush to find the maker of the watch. And actually, I'm not even sure if they're looking for the watchmaker. And so I guess the guy is not actually the watchmaker, but the person who put the magic inside of that watch. So they're actually looking for the person who has the magic behind what's taking place within this watch that is actually keeping Mr. Glass alive. And spoiler alert, his name is Chronos. That is his name. And that was just a really rare moment. I'm not used to having this type of thought in my mindset about books. So I definitely suggest reading in that sense that you get to learn about new words. So a real life moment again is definitely being able to take you into a mythical world that really has nothing to do with what it is that you have going on. I really care for that so much. And the style connection is really going to be what took place for sure, and how this resonated and what I thought about as my own body language is just a simple being able to kind of sort of figure out what that means to myself. So when I realized that a body language can give off instances that revolve around actually having time where I can sit down and kind of sort of figure out what's taking place in another world, where I can relax and kind of sort of decompress and go into that idea without worry or any kind of acknowledgement of a stressor that I have to go and do this and I'm not really allowed to enjoy what it was that I want to do for my own mental health and wellness and or well-being. So your body language, as you kind of sort of sit back and you unwind with these particular books, especially this one, that really is where you want to be at for a little bit, because it's really fun and it's really positive. So that again is a really great way to decompress. Okay. So when you really want to figure out what's taking place through what's going on as you kind of sort of figure out what's happening. That feminine precision that you deal with the glass lady, uh, that's still that's his companion throughout, just meeting by happenance. I want to say Glass was at the feminine precision because the young lady, Miss Steele, was so angry with the guy, Eddie. He actually stole Miss Steele, India Steele's shop, because he had been engaged to her underneath the guise that he was going to love her and take care of her and provide for her. And Miss Steele's father agreed to this arrangement underneath that thought and process. And so when Eddie showed his true colors and really ended up being less than a stellar character, that he presented himself to actually get Mrs. Steele's shop as well. We see that that's where that interaction and encounter led Miss Steele and Mr. Glass to come together in a formidable team, to team up and really take down the bad guy and or stick it to the man, so have you, if you will. And so that feminine precision in her mindset and thought, and really understanding that she was upset with this guy. She really wanted to kind of sort of make sure that she was set up in that sense, because he took what was rightfully hers. And we all know that never really works out. We know for a fact that giving is always better than getting, especially underneath the guise of lies and mysteriously filling these kind of sort of misinterpretations with the intent to make someone think something that is not in reality, so that you can have a come up. And as they say, people like Eddie always have their comeuppance. And that's really a true statement, because Eddie was an ultimate jerk. And I almost kind of sort of hoped and wished that Steel and Glass would have some kind of romantic moment. There was a few kind of sort of antidotes like that sprinkled into there, where they were close to sharing a kiss or two. And that feminine precision about really trying to figure out how the clock ticks, really trying to figure out how to allow the assailant to get knocked off his feet so that you can escape. That presence of mind is so articulated well, because that is such a way to embody how your future woman is going to carry herself. That was really a great type of style point in your mindset, because even when you think about the power of how women become passive, oh, you so passive, you're supposed to be submissive, or you so aggressive, or you're so sensitive. It's like we're all of these things, but when we're really only trying to survive and thrive, it's really as though, well, why am I considered all of these titles and all of these things? So, I mean, you really just got to kind of sort of take those type of things and kind of weave into what's going on and taking place. And it's really about being able to do those things at the drop of a dime on whatever fly that you may find. So that's really just what is really unique about this particular book. And I was really pleased that I did ended up finishing it, and did kind of sort of feel like it was something that was of a benefit, just off the magical sense that you really get to transport yourself into the feminine precision. It's like, so it's okay. So if I'm having a moment and I'm going into birth, that feminine is only able to give birth. So I have this feminine precision that I want to get pregnant. I'm writing out my spells, my rituals, I'm eating, I'm exercising. That feminine thought and process of executing, giving a birth to precision is down to the last stitch, the very way that I want to raise my daughter, the way that God and I has come together to figure out what she's going to look like, how it is that we're going to care for her. Those are details that provides for feminine precision. Because when you think about how people are really going to mistreat her or really come at her neck and or at myself, and I'm pregnant, mind you, and people are always known for saying that even before a child is born, they go through traumatic events. And this is so true. This is such a way of life. And so I have to have that precision in order to protect my space and my daughter as well. And in order to allow her to come into a world where she feels love, even if the only person that she gets this love from is me. That has to be that. When you really peel back that type of layer, you realize that I have to have that responsibility of giving love to a daughter who may not ever even have to experience it otherwise, if it's not for her mom. Because the world is so ridiculing, it's so backward, it's so stone throwing. And as they say, a woman who knows what's going on with herself and is about her business, okay, she'll take those same stones and build a castle out of them that were thrown at her to destroy what she wanted. So you just really want to be mindful of that. And so the passivity is probably just that simple. You know, passivity is kind of sort of like, yeah, it's cool. Oh my God, yeah, it's okay. But you really are kind of sort of like, no, do I really want to be known as that female? Did I really want to come across as that person? Did I really feel like that was necessary though or not? And Miss Steele really was assured of herself. She had moments where she was trying to figure out that her feelings were this, and it was not as strong as the Dorchester Dorchester from Manchester. If you know, you know. Spoiler alert. But the Dorchester, the guy that was from Manchester, she knew that her feelings between trying to figure out she liked this guy as much as she did from her feelings of the other guy, Glass, she knew for a fact that one was lesser than the other. And that's how she was able to kind of sort of figure out what her true thoughts were, her true feelings were. She didn't really like, and you will notice it. She's not really practicing passivity to the extreme. She's really honest and frank, and that's a really good sign to have. That's something that I really appreciated in this particular character for sure. And that's just really kind of sort of what is a positive mindset about what's going on and taking place to begin with the character and identity that is like that. So that's a really great example of how those type of things kind of sort of can resonate. So here's your style prompt. Add one detail today that feels deeply you. Whether it's a necklace or a trinket, just something that really helps you figure out what takes place. And do so within the next 5 or 10 minutes. And so that's our challenge as well. The mini challenge was just doing so within the next 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, if you really want to just go ahead on and find it as you clean up, or just put it in your mind to do so by the week is out, that's cool too. But if you really want a mini challenge, I'm going to encourage you all to kind of sort of think about these things and make some decisions about those within the next 5 to 15 minutes. Okay. And so there you have it, you all. Hopefully, you all are going to kind of sort of come back again a little bit soon. Y'all are having a really nice day, and everything is really kind of sort of working out how you see fit. So, thank you for joining me for another chapter of Books That Built Me. If this episode reshaped your mindset or refresh your style, leave a comment or review, and don't forget to wear your truth boldly. I'll see you in the next one.